Right, now that we've got the gravity suit, let's see what else we can get for this clip. After running through some very familiar territory and killing some familiar enemies, of course. Yeah, took more damage from the lava underneath than from the flying guys with guns. Entirely predictable there, but then, with the sheer number of energy tanks we have and the usual challenge we get from the enemies in our way, I don't see that as much of a problem. Probably not intentional on the part of the game designers in any way, shape, or form, but that's the feeling I generally get around here. As I said before, it is just a far more relaxed than many of the other 2D games we've gone through in this series. Well, I possibly should have just used the elevator closer to the save point instead of moving this far. Another bit of magma on the feet. Not something I should have taken, but hey, it's hard to feel worried. Especially since new territory is so far away that we can't see it on the map just yet. Right, going up. Still quite a distance from where we could possibly start exploring new territory. Again, this game is really letting the fast forward button get a lot of exercise, but then that tends to happen with a lot of the longer games I decide to LP. Not quite full health, but just 2 points off is good enough for my taste. Not that we know how powerful the next major threat is going to be, or how far it is from where we are right now. A flying pirate plus beetles. An interesting combination, but I'm afraid it's not interesting enough to be able to stop us. Hell, it was barely a speed bump. Definitely getting the feeling that I'm starting to become a little arrogant at the moment. But that's rather hard to avoid when you can tear through all the resistance pretty easily, and we've most certainly proven that the recurring enemies aren't especially scary for us at this point. Not with the ice beam, the wave beam, the missiles. Eesh. Not that they were ever really scary compared to many of the things we had to fight just to get this far. Well, that's a new door we've gone through. That's a good enough excuse for me to slow things down. I suppose I should have done so when we went underwater in the previous area, but aside from the missile expansion, it didn't feel like there was really anything noteworthy there. Though I suppose this far into the game it's hard for me to fully say what's particularly noteworthy at a given time. While I appreciate all the signs of damage we're seeing around here, I'm not really seeing too much damage that implies the place crashed from it. All I'm seeing are various bits and pieces that show that the place was blowing up in random spots due to the Queen dropping right into the power core. So maybe I'm just asking for too much when it comes to signs of damage. I should just be pleased that the place looks pretty roughed up. Not attentive enough to note the damage doesn't match all the types of abuse this place would have taken, with the combination of exploding and then going through re-entry. Right, so we've got underwater pirates as well. I'm sorry to say I preferred the look of the underwater pirates back in Metroid Fusion, but then those pirates were actually the X. It only makes sense that those absurdly capable parasites were able to make sleeker, creepier looking creatures for us to deal with than these guys in armored diving suits that look not too different from the jetpack guys. Okay. Bit embarrassing that his missiles still managed to hit me even though I'd already killed him. Or were those torpedoes? It certainly doesn't feel like the game makes much of a distinction between the two at this point. Not when our missiles seem to travel through the water the exact same way they did through the air. Well, I wouldn't say I was eagerly awaiting a save, but I'm not gonna complain about it there either. Oh yeah! We're definitely making this barrier look like nothing now that we have the gravity suit. Though I probably should have kept my eyes open for hostiles. Sure, it didn't do much damage, but it was still kind of embarrassing there. Though we've certainly made even more embarrassing mistakes just getting this far. Again, I can't help hoping we find whatever is the source of all these tentacles so we can kill it. Okay, looks like the pirates have still got some trouble on board this crash station. Unfortunately, I can't find it in me to be all that worried about whatever it is that killed this guy. I'm just having this odd appreciation of seeing a floating corpse in a game that doesn't typically let that sort of thing happen. Well, whatever tossed him down isn't here now. Right, another door we need to power up. I suppose the power nodes were somewhere underwater on our way to the top of that somewhat annoying staircase. Right, that's 2 down and 1 more to go. Easier to see where I'm actually going with the regular visor, not the thermal one. Right, and the third is at the absolute top. I should have shot that one first with the proper beam. Why am I having some odd trouble just shooting that spot with the wave beam like the other 2 locations? For some reason, I was acting like I had to remove a cover there or something. Anyway, that does it for the door. Right, another turret. Considering what happened to this place, I don't think any of the static defenses here should be working at all. At the very least, it doesn't make sense that they have enough power to try shooting at us when the power core explicitly went to hell before this station slammed into the ground. Okay, doesn't seem there's anything in here to scan. Right, so the next door is a little below us. 3D maps can be a little more troublesome to work with than the 2D ones. Anyone else find it kind of funny that I prefer 3D worlds, but 2D maps? Well, maybe being underwater will somehow make it a little more resistant to the wave beam than the flyers. Right, that's definitely not the case here. They seem exactly as weak to the wave beam as the above-ground variant. Great. Do we even have something that can break that material just yet? Or does that need the power bomb? Nope, just the super missile apparently. Spend 5 missiles to gain 5 missiles. Certainly a fair trade. Right. Of course this door doesn't have power. Nothing in this room has power. And again, they ask for 3 conduits to get shocked. I suppose it was too much to ask that we be done with that particular gimmick after just dealing with 1. Not that it's all that much of a problem in a room without any real hostiles, it's just kind of annoying. Well, at least all the conduits were in a smaller space. Less legwork to get them all. Definitely a lot of tentacles in this hallway, that's for sure. More underwater pirates. Is there anything different about them that needs scanning? Apparently not. Yeah, they're not nearly as evasive in the water as they are in the air. Definitely not a surprise. Wonder why I keep feeling there's got to be things in here that we can scan when the place is in this kind of condition. Everything's scannable on the station we scanned before it was destroyed back in orbit. And yet another door that needs 3 conduits to power. Anyone else noticing a pattern here? Those power doors haven't been slowing us down much, but it still feels right to speed up when we have to do it, since it's not all that interesting to watch me try to find each node. Another hallway with a good number of fish and tentacles. I can't help hoping there's a boss fight at the end of this path. The bodies we see floating up occasionally certainly imply we've got something to worry about relatively soon. Is it good or bad that I'm itchy to face off against another especially tough opponent? It's not like we performed all that well against that rock monster earlier. Huh. Was somehow expecting destroying one of those things to be a bit more impactful. I'm not really sure why. Well, there's the way forward. So we've got a random force field here that we can't in any way interact with. Hell, we can't even scan it. And we've got vents that somehow let us go pretty damn high up after we use a bomb. I suppose there might be a way further up, but I'm not all that great at timing, so we're not getting there from that angle. Right, a chamber with multiple ice doors and a normal door. I definitely appreciate all the fresh ground we've been seeing here. And here's hoping there's plenty more clips worth of new territory before I end up fast-forwarding as we find all the damn keys for the final door. Well, that puffer creature certainly didn't waste any time getting a hit on us. They must charge their shots based on proximity, not likelihood of actually hitting anything, and then got lucky as we left the water just as he finished charging his shot. Impressive, but unfortunately it didn't do much for the little guy. Well, that's an interesting notification. I guess that concentration of blue veins is far more dangerous than the others we've seen so far. Oh, phazon mines, huh? A brand new area altogether? I certainly appreciate that. If the pirates were going to bother putting this much metal into this opening tunnel, why not put turrets or guards in it? Wish I could feel worried about getting into a battle in an area these guys probably consider rather critical. But after tearing through the research lab, I doubt they have anything less than a boss that would make things all that troublesome for us. As I said before, I'm looking forward to dealing with a boss at this point. Right, new model of turret, but probably works the same as all the others. Okay, that's a lot of damage for a single hit. And apparently the ice beam doesn't do all that much damage on its own, even when charged up. And that's not helped by the fact that these turrets are far more durable than the others that we're more familiar with. Anyway, I somehow doubt we're going to be able to just walk up to that force field in order to shut it down. Well, this save point seems as good a place to call it a day as any.